Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. Today, let's talk about motherhood, the good, the bad, and the lovely. First off, I want to start saying that I absolutely love my kids. I love them to pieces, and I am so grateful that I am a mom, and I've always wanted to be a mom. And, but if I ever would have thought about what that meant about becoming a mom, I would have talked myself out of being a mom for reals. Because when they're babies and you're sleep deprived and stuff, it was still beautiful. But as they get older, like my kids are 9.5 and 7. And wow, they are beautiful and I love every little stage. Like I don't miss the baby stage, but it was a beautiful stage. And there's moments where I look back at pictures, I'm like, oh, that's lovely, or things like that. But I'm very present with my children where they are now is where I'm meeting them. And yes, we talk about things that they did or different things as they were growing up and things. But I'm very this is where they're at and this is where we're going kind of thing. And I just really love getting to see each stage of their life. And it's really beautiful. But that doesn't mean that it's not hard. And I definitely think back, I'm like, whoa, if I would have thought about everything that would entail being a mom, I would have walked right out that door, metaphorically speaking, where I'm like, nope, not becoming a mom. But I have always had this idea of being a mom, and it's always been one of my things that I've really wanted to do in my life. It is one of the hardest, if not the hardest job. I haven't had every job in the world, so I don't know, but it's pretty tough, especially at certain times. And then it has its rewards, right? Those moments where, they just say the cutest thing. My oldest really loves, saying you're my yogi buddy and my gluten-free buddy and things like that. So we're really close. So both kids are we're both close, and my kids are really close together and things like that. So there's really beautiful moments until there's not, right? So there's moments, let's be honest, being a parent, being a mom, that, it's not so great. My oldest does not want to go to bed ever. The line that always comes out of their mouth is, I don't want to go to bed. I'm like, I know, honey, you never want to go to bed. You're always fighting it. I'm like, your body needs rest and things like that. But of course, to a kid, that doesn't matter. And I'm always just well, I'm going to bed soon, so maybe you should too. So it's always that struggle, right? And one of the biggest things I want to talk about today, and that's really why I came up with this topic around motherhood, is something that I've learned. So when the kids were young, super young, and their bedtime, they were little, they'd go to bed at 8 or 7:30, they're in bed. And my oldest has always had a hard time sleeping, so that's not new. But anyways, I feel now that I have less time for me. I have less self-care time. I have to work really hard, or I have to be really focused on what I'm going to do because I only have small pockets of time. Because as they get older, they're doing more things. And I'm sure down the line, they'll be it will go the other way again. I don't know though. I haven't been there yet. But right now it's they have all these things going on. They have outings later on. Even today after I've recorded this, I'm running to the school because my oldest is in track and field, but my youngest isn't able to yet because he's not in a grade high enough yet. So I have to go for the one, and then I'll play with him while the oldest is going, through track and field and stuff like that. So, and then just walk them all home after. So, but lots going on, right? But it's just, I have to be really, really mindful. And when I do have time to myself, I have to, one, make a promise to myself that it will be for me. Because here's the thing, there's always something to do around the house. There's always, we're at a new season. I got to go through all their clothes again. And now that they're older, they actually help me. So then, because they have a better understanding of what fits them, what doesn't. And it's just oh my goodness, I have to do that again, right? There's always something. So when I do have a time to myself, I'm always oh, should I do this or should I do this? I'm no, this is my me time. Take it and enjoy it. Have a bath. I'm always talking to myself. Yeah. Anyways, so it happens. And then just yesterday, my husband and I were having a conversation. I was really sharing about this really cool thing that I want to do with my business. And I was like super sharing. And I was in this creative mode where I'm like, I was actually down. Like I don't know. If you're not creative, maybe you don't, like, I don't know. I was just having this moment where I was problem solving out loud in that moment. And I was really hit by this wave of creativity. And my son is like, Mommy, like completely cuts off my conversation. And it happens. And we're trying to teach our kids, like if we're talking, raise your hand or, but sometimes we're like I was in a completely creative mode. And obviously like they do try to wait and then they forget what they want to say. So it's this fun thing where I don't see my husband a lot when the kids are not around. My husband and I both work during the day when the kids are at school. And then in the afternoon while they're home, like, we don't have a lot of time. And then he goes to bed early because he starts work early. So it's just this fun balance. So my self-care has to be really focused on, I really do need to be, dedicated and honor my me time. But at the same time, then I also need to find that new time with relationships as well, right? With my husband. So it's trying to balance it all, right? That's what really motherhood is, really deep into the whole figuring out balance. And what worked when they were little might not work when they're older, and then they get even older. Like I can only imagine when they're both up past a certain time, like they could be turning off all the lights, right? Like we're all night owls in this house. And so it's going to be interesting to see when they're older. But again, I literally live in the moment that they are now. And so it's just figuring out. So motherhood is this fun thing. Like it's constantly changing. And oh man, the conversations I'm having with the kids, like the questions they ask. I'm like, I have this thing where I usually sit and have a little conversation with my children before bed in their own rooms. So, because here's the thing, like we have 2 kids. So it's like one-on-one time with them where they get to kind of like, maybe they didn't want to share around the dinner table about what they did, or they want one-on-one time with me. So we have a deep conversation at bedtime. And sometimes there's some really interesting questions that come out. I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. And then like some of the conversations I've had with my children, I'm like, wow, I was not prepared for that conversation. There's been times where I'm like, you know what? I don't know the answer to that yet, but I'm going to go look it up and I'm going to figure it out and I'll get back to you. Like we get to points of like, very interesting conversations. And, there's been conversation about death. Like my oldest has definitely gone through that. And I was like, oh my goodness, like what is going on? And I looked that up and it's very, very normal for 9-10-year-olds to go in that world and things like that. So it's just been really interesting. Because then I'm like, what have you been watching? Or like, but it's just, they have questions. So as a mom, I'm always kind of like, whoa, I have learned so much though being a mom, right? Because I might not have the answer. I don't have every answer. So I have to go look it up, or I need to go find some kind of thing. Like I need to figure out what to do next. Like the death one really like threw me off my game, but I actually handled it quite well. And then I looked it up. I'm like, did I do that? So motherhood is also tapping into your instincts, like just breathing and like really being calm and centered. But maybe you don't always feel calm and centered, because I know I don't. So sometimes, it takes you for a loop. But I have grown so much too as a person. It is so incredible. So being a mom is this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful experience. But that doesn't mean that it's easy or that you enjoy every aspect of it, because I know I don't all the time. Like our mornings, OMG, like not fun, because we're not morning people and school starts early. Our mornings are not nice. So it's figuring out how to make it nicer. I usually put on, like if I'm the one getting the kids moving, I put on some like fun upbeat music because it helps get the kids moving. We're very music oriented in this house. Like I'll put music on, just like, especially if things are stressed out around here, like the kids are, just losing it. Like, rah. Anyway, so there is a lot as a parent to work through. and figure out like what works best for your children. I've also learned a lot about myself. So a while back, I was reading this article it was a local article in the paper, and it was about this art show and how this woman is highly sensitive and the book that helped her. I'm like, oh, interesting. And then a lot of creative people are highly sensitive, and definitely a lot of people out on the coast and things like that. Like they just need less action, like less noise. And I'm like, oh, so I actually got the book. Actually, I got the book that was for it's highly sensitive children. It's called The Highly Sensitive Child. And I figured I think I'm sensitive as well. But I got the child one because I'm like, I need to help my kids. I need to understand them better. And then I can figure out me too in the process. But I'm like, let's go directly to the child or the children, really. And I was like, oh. And I learned so much about myself. I'm like, that makes sense. This makes so much sense about my childhood and why I was having such a hard time because people didn't get me. You know, I was the sensitive one, then emotional one. And so in helping our kids move through their own personalities, their own, struggles and challenges, we too can grow as parents. And it's really beautiful. So it was like that moment where I'm like, oh, and then my oldest was actually really cool. They were really happy that I was reading a book to help understand them better. It's really amazing when you show an effort and they're like, oh, they care. They're trying. So am I perfect? Heck no, not even close. I have moments, I blow up. Things happen, Things happen. You're under pressure. You're going to it's like a pot of boiling water. It just keeps boiling like it's going to spill over. Or you run out of water. But, we all have moments. And motherhood is not always pretty. And in fact, a lot of the time it's not. But wow, the growth, the things we can learn about ourselves and even our children to get to know them better is beautiful. Now, I'm going to be completely honest here. I haven't finished the book yet. It's a book that it takes a lot of focus. I would like to finish it. I have intentions, but I'm going to be honest. I haven't finished it yet, but what I've read so far has been really helpful. And it has really opened my own eyes to my own childhood. Things that I didn't even know. I didn't know this was a thing. And then I'm like, oh, so it's really beautiful. So if you're having a hard day or a hard week or a month, cut yourself some slack. Take a moment, maybe book a spa appointment or have your own at home or whatever it is that makes you feel good. Have a bubble bath, get out with a friend, any of these things that whatever makes you feel good. Because one of the biggest things that have helped me through motherhood is taking care of myself. Knowing what my needs are or discovering what they are. Because honestly, every age and every step along the way, my needs change too. Right? It's like I need to find more time with my husband because, that's a relationship that needs to keep being nourished. I put a lot of effort into my children. And it's like, okay, wait, I need to savor some of that energy for my husband as well and myself. But it's knowing what you need and figuring out how you can fill that need. So I think I shared a while back, it was last winter, and I was just on go. I was in full mother mode. I'm doing this, and I always take care of the kids. I just was putting them first. And we were about to go out to an event. And I'm like, Alex, my husband, I was like, I have nothing. I have nothing left in my cup is empty. And he was really cool. And he was really awesome and said, stay home. I can take the kids. Take care of you. And even in that moment, that's when I really realized when I do have time by myself, I get overwhelmed because I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so much to do. And that was in the moment where I'm like, okay, I need to do something just for me to fill my cup up. So if you're at that point where you're on go, Like, I love my kids. I love spending time with my kids. I love being a mom. And sometimes that love that I put towards them, it takes all my love. And then I don't have enough for myself or things like that. So when you pour it all there, you might be empty. So what I encourage you to do, if you're there and that's what you do, is find even an hour for you. Hopefully a day, but even a week. And it's even like whatever you can give yourself. And then have a list of things that you love to do. So when your partner or spouse or, a grandparent can take your kids for even an hour or a day or a weekend, you don't just clean the house or you don't just do laundry. Unless you really love that. Honestly, I don't. I love gardening. I like being out I can hear the eagles singing or the owl hooting and things like that. But I have a list of things that make you feel good. So then when you have a free moment, you don't feel overwhelmed by all the things and then instead you clean. Because I know I was in that part where it's like, okay, Alex took the kids, great. And then I would do the dishes, or I would, change the bedding. I would do something, but not for myself. Mind you, changing the bedding is a good feeling because nice clean sheets are awesome. But to do just to slow down, because as a mom, and remember I'm talking this is so much love here. As a mom, we can get so busy being busy, that we forget to slow down and really ask ourselves, what do we need? What do you need right now? And maybe it's a nap, or maybe it's hang out with a friend you haven't socialized in forever. Or maybe it's figuring out when you can have another date with your husband or partner or any of those things. And it's figuring out, what do you need? Because you matter too. We can only be the best parent we can be, the best mom we can be, when we are giving love to ourselves too. And again, I say this with so much love, because when I am frustrated and I can't handle the kids, moments of sensitivity where they're I have sand on my feet, and all these moments, when I lose it, that means I haven't been taking care of myself. The moment I'm oh crap, I did not handle that well, I actually go what do I need right now? Because clearly my needs aren't being met. So whenever I have some ugly moments as a mom, and I have them, when I can't stay calm and cool and tap into what my kids need, I'm I need something myself. Because here's a fun thing. I can actually look at my kids and I can know what they're thinking and feeling. But if I'm not taking care of myself, if I'm not at a place of centered and grounded myself, if I haven't been working out or meditating, yoga. I love including the kids in yoga, by the way. Sometimes though, I don't always do it with kids because you get a different experience when you do it. Let's face it. But if I'm not taking care of me and I'm not in this centered space, it shows. My fuse is very short. I don't have the patience for their crazy shenanigans. And then I don't feel good, right? Because then I'm yelling at them and I'm not happy about what's going on. But when I've taken care of my needs, even the basic ones, then I can meet them at a better place. Because let's face it, motherhood is ugly sometimes and messy. And at the same time, it can be really beautiful. But it's making sure that you take care of you too. Because you can only give out what you have yourself. So instead of looking at being selfish, it's taking care of you so you can be the best you can be. The best friend you can be. Mother and partner. We just show up better when we take care of ourselves. And as a mom, we need self-care more than anybody else needs self-care, in my opinion. And maybe dads too. But because we have these added things, these humans that rely on us, to help them through the hard struggles, the challenges, you know, they need us to help guide them and teach them tools to work through it as well. Like having highly sensitive children, I actually have like go bags. Like, so when they get emotional out in public, when they get like too overwhelmed, I have things for them. I have tools. And everything I've learned myself for myself, like I can be able to put it with them as well. And it's helping them work through their emotions. Now, not every kid needs to have it as much as mine. And that's okay. But it's when we figure out the tools ourselves for anything, like overcoming stress or overwhelm or disappointment, when we do that ourselves, when we know how to work through that, we can help demonstrate to our children because we're doing it ourselves, but we also can come back with confidence and say, hey, this might help. Like we do a lot of breathing techniques in this house. However, what I've discovered is sometimes they're too past that emotional step and you got to switch it out. And that's why music is such a big deal in our house. We listen to music because music can really change your mood. Sometimes my kids just need to feel it. So, but it all comes down again back to us. And it's not this bad thing that if you haven't been taking care of you. It's just by listening to this episode today, you are now invited and reminded that you matter, that taking care of you matters. You are the foundation. And if you're not being taken care of, if you're not taking care of yourself, then you don't have this solid foundation to support others in your life. And I say this again with so much love because you matter. You deserve to have me time and, have fun. You're just because you're a mom doesn't mean you can't have fun and you can't have a social life. Like those things happen. You can still have those. And it just is sometimes takes a little bit more effort. As a mom, sometimes we need to work a little bit more on certain things, like making room in our own schedules for ourselves. Because we are constantly keeping everybody else's schedules, right? Like, do you have it where it's like I always know where my kids need to be and what they need and things like, anyways. But don't forget about you. Because motherhood can be good, but it can be ugly. And it can also be lovely. Take care of you so you can enjoy those moments deeper. It's so important to make sure you're full, your cup is full, that your needs are taken care of. And does it always work out the way you planned? Heck no. Like I know I've sacrificed a lot. Like I even get frustrated at times where I've put a lot of my business stuff on the back burner. I haven't been on social media very often because I do have so much focus on my children. But it's finding this like balance between working, my me time, doing stuff around the house, and of course, spending time with my kids and my husband. So it's this fine balance. But it always works better when I'm making sure my cup is full, when I've taken care of myself. Things flow better. My stress levels are lower. And it's like, well, what can you do for yourself? Make a list of things that you like to do. And if it's been a while since you've taken care of yourself and your needs, try new things. Go out and experiment. Life is fun. Life should be fun anyways. It should be enjoyed. This journey could be long, and motherhood can feel so crazy at times. So just take a moment and think about what you might want to do. Things maybe you've stopped doing. Maybe you try it again, and maybe it's not you anymore, and that's fine too. Because as we are, in motherhood, we do change as well. I've changed a lot since my oldest was born, and that's okay. So what you did before your kids might not be what you want to do anymore, and that's okay. So just figuring out different things you can do and find out what, it can be simple. It can just be like reaching out to a friend, or finding new friends. Like, go try something you love and see what other people are there. Have a walking buddy. I love that. I love that I have this really amazing friend that we go for walks with. It's so good. And it's just finding what you need. What is it that you need right now? And then, try and fit it into your days. Not every day will be perfect or great. Not every week or month or, will work out as you planned. Like I said, I was actually really frustrated because I put so much on the back burner for my business. But here's the thing, like, I love that I can work from home. So when, one of my kids are sick, I take the day off if I can. Or I balance. I take half the day and then my husband takes half the day. Or I figure out how to work it in later. Because I can. But because I can, sometimes my needs and my things that make me happy get put to the wayside. So if you're finding yourself like, oh man, I haven't taken care of myself, I've been taking care of everybody else, you're not alone. I have been on my self-love journey for over a decade. And it's actually almost like 14 years, I think, possibly 15. I've lost track. And I share about this stuff. And I still have troubles where, like, life just happens and we get, put back in the world of motherhood. And it's okay. Don't let like one fall knock you down and not get back up. It's just like, oh, that happened. Okay, I just need to pivot or shift. Because here's the thing, motherhood, I'm always pivoting. I forget what was happening the other day, but I was like, oh, gonna have to pivot. Like it just happens. Life happens. And with kids, it's even more, there's more moving parts. But the main one, and with being a mom, is don't forget about you. And you might forget occasionally and then just re-pivot back. Like, okay, what can I do for me now? What do I need? Because, it gets messy. But it's so much easier when you're taking care of you. Now, I'm not making it's not like perfect, because like I tell my kids, there's no such thing as perfect. Okay? We don't thrive for perfection. We just learn. We, take it one day at a time. Learn from like, oops, I fell down. Now, what can I learn from this? I made a mistake. Learn from it. Or I forgot about myself. Learn from it. Usually when I'm like stressed out and like, like I want to pull out all my hair. Okay, not quite that bad, but like when I'm like, I'm at the stage, growly, and just, I'm like, okay, what is it that I'm missing right now? Where do I need to fill my cup up? So it's just being aware and mindful of your needs and then finding ways to fill them. So today, take hopefully 5-10 minutes after this. If you're, driving a car or you're listening to this at work, just take some time today to make your priority and figure it out what it is you need today. You are doing an amazing job. You're here listening to this podcast. So way to go. Give yourself a high five, a hug, a pat on the back, whatever feels good. And celebrate the fact that you are rocking it. Because you are. You are rocking it. You're listening. It's always about learning new things, listening, getting motivated, taking care of you. And then when things happen, just repivot. It's okay. But you're doing it. You are rocking. You are here. Thank you so much for listening. Celebrate the fact that you are here and that you've taken some time to listen about this. And, put you in the calendar. Make it non-negotiable. And of course, like, life happens. So if you have to cancel on yourself, reschedule like you would a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment, anything that you need to show up for. Make it non-negotiable. And then obviously, as a mom, you may need to shift and then reschedule. It's very important. And try not to reschedule more than 3 times. Like, then you need to find like somebody to help you watch the kids so you can take some time. But take care of you because you matter. You matter. Your kids will like see how amazing you are focusing on you. And I know it can be hard because we might feel like we're selfish and things like that. And I remember there's times where like they're going out and playing and I'm like with my husband, like to go to the beach or something, like, oh, I want to go to the beach. But sometimes I just need alone time. Like for real. I'm like, I'll just go somewhere else myself. Sometimes it's so easy to just keep being mom. But sometimes you need to be you, just you. And that's okay. Like I need a super amount of alone time. I've realized that about myself. And then I had to make peace with that. I'm like, I really need a lot of alone time. So you got to figure out what it is you need and then make small steps to get there, or big ones, whatever feels right to you. I don't want to stress you out, but you're doing it. You're rocking. You're doing it. You're here. And I'm so grateful for you. You are an amazing mom. You're rocking it, doing it. Celebrate that. And everything else will spill over. But give yourself the love that you give your children, because you deserve it too. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.